So one of the goals I'd like to add in this game is for the player to find equilibrium points in the black hole battlefield. These are points where the gravitational force of the black holes cancels out. And if you could get the ship perfectly at rest, it would stay there. It's going to be an unstable equilibrium, but an equilibrium point nonetheless. The way I envision this happening is there will be a currency in the game that you have to pay to get access to the next level. So you have to collect the currency. But one of the ways you can get currency is to collect these or discover these equilibrium points and then sell their location to collectors and explorers who are looking for them. So what I thought we could do today would be to add in the sort of discovery of the equilibrium points and add a marker for them onto the playing screen. So for that, we're going to need to create a new prefab, so something that can be cloned onto the play screen easily, kind of like what we do with the black hole and with the shots. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Here is I'm going to copy the shot prefab, and then let's see, I'm going to copy the shot prefab, and then I'm going to turn that into the equilibrium point. I think I can copy and paste this thing. Copy, paste. No, okay. Oh, I know how I can do this. Let's move it over to here. Okay, so we've created one of those. And let's call this thing equilibrium point. Can I do that? Is that a legal name? Okay, that is a legal name. Cool. Let's see here. Let's leave it as untagged. So the sprite we're going to change to equilibrium point. And just a comment on the graphics. These are just schematic graphics. My brother Kyle, whose Let's Play channel you should really check out, Kyle Blaine Plays. He is doing the graphics and the music for this game. Very thankful to him for that. And he just sent me some sort of design schematics. I'm really excited for it. It'll be a little bit different style than any games I've played. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be exciting. So these graphics will be getting better. I'm hoping that once I get some sprites from him, I'll start incorporating them into here, so it'll actually look like the real game on the video instead of the little cartoons. I suppose it might be fun to have a cheat code on the game where you can go back to the original schematic and match the videos. So we've changed the sprite. This thing will not need a rigid body 2D. It's just going to be a marker. So we're going to remove that component. It also does not need a script attached to it. So we're going to remove that component. And it doesn't need a collider associated with it. So we're going to remove that component. Okay, so it's literally just a sprite at a location, and we'll probably the scale is probably okay. The scale is probably all right. So what we do now is we take this and we drop it down into here. Okay, cool. So now we have a prefab for equilibrium point. So I can delete this thing. So here's my prefab equilibrium point. So what I need to do now is I need to go over, I think this will be best done in ship controls, where we're already calculating the force on it. So really all I have to do is right before the thrust, right? Because the thrust doesn't count toward the equilibrium. So before we calculate the thrust, let's check for an equilibrium point. So let's see here. So we've just calculated the force on the ship from the black holes. So here we're going to check for equilibrium point. Okay. And so here what we're going to do is we're going to look at the magnitude of the force on the ship just due to the black holes. So let's see. If the force on ship dot magnitude is less than equilibrium point tolerance, that's something we'll have to define up above. Okay, so we're going to call it EP tol. I should really learn to define my variables first. Python and Scilab have been too kind to me, where I don't have to declare things ahead of time. Let's see. I guess let's make that a public float eptol equal to, let's see, what kind of forces have we been dealing with here? Can I go back and reference those? Here we go. No. Clear on play. Oh, shoot. I think I lost him. Oh, well. Okay. They're on the order of like 0.2 something, 0.5, you know. So let's say if the total force on this thing, let's go with 0.001. What I might end up with is a whole bunch of equilibrium points around the edge, and that might get irritating, so I might regret this a little bit later. So for now, let's see how well it works out. If the force on the ship's magnitude is less than that, then we're going to say you discovered an equilibrium point. So you're going to add in add 1 to EP total, because you'll collect them over the course of the level. So this is add 1 to the EP total. We'll need to add that in later. Let me remind myself that I need to add that, because I don't have any points or bells and whistles or anything for the game right now. It's just strictly navigation. We're adding in stuff in one step at a time. And so what we're going to do is, if the magnitude of the force on the ship is less than this, then we need to instantiate an, what are we calling it? An EP. Instantiate EP. Okay. And I think what I have to do is I have to create a game. I have to tie that to a game object up here. Yes, I do. So I need a public game object EP. And so what I have to do then is, when so over here for the ship, I have to tell it what BH is. Let's go ahead and which I haven't done because I haven't accessed BH. So I may as well go ahead and get rid of that one, huh? Because I don't use that ever. All right then. Let's see here. So I've got public game object shot, and what the public does is it makes it available over here. And so I need for BH, well, I need to get rid of the BH there. So let's see if we can do an update here. My screen is frozen, of course. So let's just work over here till Unity unfreezes itself. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we got shot. We've got EP. So I take EP, the prefab, click and drag it over here. There we go. Yeah, I think that was for asteroid earlier. I need to go through and clean up some of this stuff, it seems like. Let's find eptol. There we go. Then you instantiate EP. Oh, and instantiate requires a location, doesn't it? Vector 3 position. So this is going to be I think we call it RB2D up here. Yeah, RB2D dot transform dot position. So there's its position, and then the quaternion, the rotation, that's just, do you want it rotated anyway, and they store it as a quaternion for some reason. So we're going to say quaternion dot identity is the way you say don't rotate it, because then it's just the identity matrix, meaning no rotation. Okay, let's see what happens there. Oh, I didn't have it check whether there was already an EP. I'm going to end up with an infinite number of EPs, aren't I? All right, I'm definitely not at an equilibrium point here. Okay. Oh, those equilibrium points are less common than I thought they would be. How far away do I have to get before I get to one? Excuse me there, enemy ship. Where am I out here? Is it throwing out any errors? The variable is assigned but never used. Okay, that's not a problem. That's stuff I'll need to eventually fix. And this is what happens whenever I reload the stage. Or reload the level, excuse me. Because when I fire a shot... Oops. Yeah, it puts out the shot clone down there. All right, let's put in some print statements. Maybe I need... the answer is always print statements. Print statements everywhere. Let's see. Let's put in the check here. So let's say print force from black holes. Black holes is, comma, force on ship dot magnitude. Is that up? Okay. Oh, I need that to be a dot two. Oh, that does not get the pop. Sorry, magnitude. Two string. The very fact that you call it pop indicates to me you're not ready. Let's see. Let's try that again. All compiler errors, blah, blah, blah. Oh, why you gotta... Too many characters in string literal. Oh, right. That's a plus, not a comma. I was working in Python earlier today, so my brain is still on Python. Oh, what now? Too many characters in literal. Oh, right. I'm sorry, but the single quotes and the double quotes should be the same thing. Honestly. They should mean the same thing. I guess they don't. Well, how did I do it earlier? Hang on, I just did this. Oh, toString requires an argument. Requires an empty argument. All right. First the wad, then the shot, then the powder. Pack it down tight. Nope, it is not getting there. Because this is force in black holes, right? This is before I calculate the turning around. I suppose it would be better if when that happened, the ship turned around, but I want you to be able to control your ship's movement yourself, your ship's rotation yourself. No, that does not. How far away do I have to get before the force in the black holes decreases? Or decreases below the... I guess it was point... Was it .001 or .0001? Because this is the other issue, is you'll be able to go... So now I really need to incorporate a border effect into the game, or else you can just go far away and collect an infinite number of equilibrium points like I just did. Alright, there we go. Okay, so it is working. Wow, so that does require some precision. Okay. So do I want to decrease the ePtol? I don't know. Let me play around with this a little bit and see if I can find an equilibrium point. What I will probably end up doing is manually creating a simple level where I know there's an equilibrium point. Get out of the way, ship. Oh boy. Oh wow. Uh-oh. I gotta get out of here. There we go. There we go. All right. Can I find an oh, no, that's not an equilibrium. Oh, can I find an equilibrium point between these two? How about these two? Okay. Need to be closer to this. Oh, shoot. I'm pushing the wrong direction. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Is the checker is working. The problem is I don't know what to set that ePtol value to. And so I think what I'm going to need to do is let's create a scenario where I know there's an equilibrium point. And actually, let me demonstrate to you how we can know where there's an equilibrium point. So I was working on this a little bit earlier today. I was hoping I would get to share it with you. We are going to be working in 2 different languages in today's episode of Let's Code Physics. Isn't that exciting? So I was making an equilibrium point finder in VPython. I did it in VPython because it was easier, it was simpler, and I didn't have to edit the game that I'm working on. So what I've got here is I've got a list of black holes, and I've got 4 of them here. So they're each a sphere. They're all the same radius, so they're all going to be the same mass just for ease. And they make a diamond. So I guess I could have just made life easier on myself and made a square. Oh well, why would I make life easy on myself? No, because I originally had them as a triangle and blah blah blah. Okay. So what this is going to do is it's looping over values of x and y, and it's calculating the gravitational force or rather the gravitational field at each of those locations, right? So the difference between a field and a force is you just divide out by the mass or charge, whatever's being affected on the object. You get the field instead of the force. So the idea is that the thing is emanating a field, and then the object, the mass or the charge or whatever, is responding to the field, and that's where the force comes from. So basically, it's looping over the black holes in the black hole list, and it's adding up the gravitational field produced by each one. So there's the size. So we're going to call the radius the mass for right now. They're all the same number, so it doesn't really matter. Divided by r magnitude cubed times the vector between them. So this divided, so r vec divided by 1 r mag gets you the unit vector, and r mag squared gets you the field. I've got a little bit of a check so that we don't end up dividing by 0. So if the point you're checking is too close to the black hole, it just says, okay, make it really, really big, but don't actually make it something. We know there's not going to be an equilibrium point on the black hole, right? That's not okay. And then it's going to place a white sphere. So the black holes, because the background is black, the black holes are going to be red, and the equilibrium points are going to be white. And it's looping over the x and y locations. So let's see what we get for this arrangement. And if we get some nice equilibrium points on this arrangement, then I'll just recreate this scene in Unity, and that'll be the situation we use, and we'll check to see if we get the equilibrium points. Now, the reason I think this one's interesting is because you get a few different equilibrium points, right? So this is 4 black holes, right, that are making a diamond right here. You get an equilibrium point in the middle, and you get this family of equilibrium points along here. And I've tried changing the step size and the tolerance values, and that thing seems to persist. So it seems like you can get an equilibrium point around there. So it seems like if I place them there in this diamond, that I should be able to get this to work. Now, the thing that concerns me is whether I'll be able to recreate that diamond. So let me recreate that as a square and see if we can. Let me recreate that as a square and see if we end up with the same thing. So I want to have this at 0, 0, 0. Let's have this at 1, 0, 0. And then for the others, let's have... I don't want to lose the others, so I'm just going to comment them out. Let's just copy and paste this. So we need one at 0, 1, 0, and we need one at 1, 1, 0. Right? That should make a nice square. And I'm looping... from x equals 0, because I know equilibrium point is going to be inside the square. And let's actually just have these go from 1. Let's have this go from 0 to 1, because I know the equilibrium points are going to be somewhere inside the square. And just for completeness, let's make that a less than or equal to. Okay. Although equality doesn't really mean too much to floating point variables. Okay, cool. So now that's a little bit different. I don't end up with the smeared out effect. So maybe that smeared out effect is artificial. I don't know. Okay, but the point is I should be able to fly right in the middle and get this nice family of equilibrium curves. So here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to crack my fingers. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to create a new scene. I haven't done this yet. Actually, let's do something different. Let's save the scene as. So we have the basic level. So let's call this equilibrium. Let's call this square test level.unity. I never know whether underscores, whether spaces are going to throw off a file system, so I always put underscores. Okay, so we've got square test level and we've got the basic level. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do is we're going to get rid of the black hole spawner. Actually, I suppose we could make that a prefab, couldn't we? Let's make that a prefab just so that I can access that later. All right, so I'm in the square test level, not the basic level, so I should be able to delete that. Okay, there's my look ahead. Let's delete the other ship. Again, let's make that as a prefab. Just so if I end up losing them somehow in the basic level as well, It'll be all right. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to create some black holes. That is the sprite. That is not the... I don't know why I stored the black hole in here. The black hole prefab in here. And let's put these folks equidistant from each other. So let's say -5... Well, not equidistant from each other, but the corners of a square. Okay, that's a little too far away. So let's say -4, 4. There we go. And then let's do the same thing with this one, but we'll put it at 4 and -4. And then we'll make 2 more. The first one we'll put at, see, I need one at 4 and 4. And then I need one at -4, -4. Okay, cool. Oh, except I can't do that. I mean, I can, but I would have to rework the ship's script because I want... Those are not going to be on the black hole list anymore. Okay, so actually delete those. Sorry. So what I want to do is I want to bring back in the black hole spawner. Okay, we're going to call this the black hole square spawner. Excuse me, 1 second. Heading back. So we're going to call this the black hole square spawner because I'm going to rewrite the spawn black holes script. Add component, new script. Let's call it spawn square of black holes. Oh, I can't have... Wait a minute. I can't have spaces, but there are spaces up there. Spawn square of black holes. Fine. Is that better? Create an add. Okay, cool. Let's open that up then over here. Reload all, please. Alright, so open up for me, please. Spawn square of black holes. Nothing there, right? And then I want to open spawn black holes because I want this to be the same script. It's just instead of it being random, I want it to place it at those 4 locations. Okay, so black hole prefab. Okay, so what I want to do is... all I really need is the instantiation. Right? I just need... black holes.add game object instantiate. And now instead of random position, I just set what the position is. Yeah, perfect. Okay. I do need the black hole masses. Backspace. Okay. Oh, why did that... Oh yeah, it only does it at the start. Right. Void make black holes. Why is it giving me red squiggly underlines? Oh, right, because this does not match the name. We want this to be spawn square of black holes. I should have figured out a way to abbreviate that. Okay. Let's see here. So we're looking for that. Okay. Let's take care of our indentation there. I don't need that anymore. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to have it instantiate at those locations. So we're going to say vector 3. Right, yes. Next position equals new vector 3. And we'll just go in order -4, -4, 0. Close that off there. And this thing is going to go to next position. I guess I need to figure out how to do this anyway because when I I'm gonna have. I think I'll have one mode of gameplay where the black holes are randomized, but another where they're laid out in specific locations. All right, so blackholes.add. Cool. And then we just need to keep up with that. Oh, right. Let's see. I need the transform of that thing then of black holes of 1 dot transform. Oh, I messed something up there. I need to be able to access that for the mass. Oh, first of all, Brian, that needs to be a square brace. There we go. Dot transform. I think it's transform dot scale, is it? Dot local scale. Okay, excuse me. Dot local scale. And what doesn't it like about this one? On line 39, cannot convert from vector 3 to float. Oh, do I need the dot magnitude on there? It's random transform. Oh, right. That needs to just be... Oh, no. Excuse me. The random transform is... Oh, sorry. Random transform is going into that thing. Sorry, I forgot how I made this. No, that could just be 1. So I just need blackhole_mass.add 1 float. There we go. That's better. Okay, and then I need to do the same thing down here. All right, so we've made 1. We'll make 2, 3. We'll make 4. Okay, so the next one will be at 4. Oops, that one's supposed to happen. Next one will be at 4, -4. The next one will be at -4, 4. The next one will be at 4, 4. It is every combination, right? Okay, well then let's get rid of these because we don't need to redefine this thing. There we go. And I've got an extra brace from somewhere. There we go. That makes nice for everybody. Okay, this is the square test level. Let's see what happens here. Oh. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Okay, so this is square of black holes, black hole square spawner. Okay. I started in the middle, so I should have been able to so I should be able to find an equilibrium point here. Why? Uh-oh. Why am I not moving? And why is there an infinite number of argument is out of range? Uh-oh. Oh, I know what I did. Spawn square black holes. There's this thing called the number of black holes 5. Yeah, there's only supposed to be 4 of those. There's only 4 of those now. That was private, right? That's just... Okay, but it's static, so it's not going to show up here, I don't think. Okay. Let's try that again. Nope. Still argument out of range. Parameter name index. Ugh, gosh, there's a problem in the list.cs. I don't know what to do with that. Oh, you know what? Oh. It actually needs to be 3 because it's looking from 0 to n. Nope, still nothing. Okay, let's pause. Okay, it was printing the force from the black holes at first. Let's clear all that and then let's restart. There go the errors. So I've got this myriad of errors of the same thing. Oh, that's weird. Okay, what have I done wrong here? Black holes dot add instantiate. Okay, can you please print for me the black holes dot, is there a length? I'm gonna get the last index of, maybe? Oh dear. Okay. So we are looking for, okay, so somewhere along the way I have a mistake with the, or I have an inconsistency between the number of black holes here and the number of black holes that the ship is looking for over here. So let's review how the ship looks for those over here. Spawn. Yep, so this is looking for I equals 0, I less than or equal to spawn black holes dot in black holes. Okay, yes, that is the way that's supposed to be. Let's see here. Let's try print looking for black holes 0 through, and then we'll say plus this number. Copy paste dot toString. Okay, so that tells me what that's looking for that array. And then let's I need to figure out a way to get the length of a list. Okay, according to the website I just found, it is dot count. So what I want is black holes dot count. There it is. And so let's have it print. I made black holes 0 through plus black holes dot count dot toString. There we go. All right, let's run that and then stop it so that we can get our I forgot to clear this first, excuse me. So let's run and then stop it so that we can get our print statement. Stop. Okay, so it's looking for black holes 0 through 5. I made black holes 0 through 4. Ship controls. Oh, it is looking in the wrong spawner code. It's looking in spawn black holes.cs, not spawn square of black holes.cs. Okay, so I think what I need to do, and I thought about this earlier, thought it crossed my mind, I need to create a new ship. Let's see, I think I can, oh Lord have mercy, how many occurrences are there of spawn black holes in this document? Because I'll have to change all of those. Is there a find all on here? Find all, there we go. There are 7 instances. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means, and then there's 2 down here. Okay. Okay. Let's do this then. Let's just change all of the. Let's just change them for now, and I'll put them back afterwards. That's probably bad coding practice, but you know. Oops. Control H. There we go. So I'm looking to replace spawn black holes with spawn square of black holes. And then we'll do a replace all, and then I'll just replace them back. Okay, 7 occurrences, good. Save that. All right, then. And then I think I can get rid of my print statements. Where was that print statement? Print statement. Yep, there it is. I should have been able to tell when I had to copy and paste that in. Spawn square of black holes. excuse me, I'm looking for that print statement. There we go. Okay. All right, let's try that again. And this is all just to test the equilibrium point finder. This was supposed to be a short, simple task. Okay, good. It did find the equilibrium point there in the center. Can it find an equilibrium point here? Because according to VPython, okay, I need to go in a little bit more, it looks like. Okay, so let's unpause. Start turning back this way. What happened to my look ahead? Okay, quickly go this way, go this way, go this way. Did you find it? Did you find an equilibrium point? Ooh, I might need to decrease the tolerance, I guess. Okay, I am not getting the... I'm not sure what happened to my look ahead, but I'm not terribly concerned about it right now either. Oh, it's probably referencing the wrong list as well. Okay, well... Oh, it's also possible. Well, and actually, you know what? I've got different tolerances now that I think about it. Where is the? Oh, yeah, it's under ship controls. EPTOL I have set as 0.001, and in VPython I had it set to 0.01. So let's see what happens there. Oh, and I also have these masses set differently. Oh, and I've got the distances set differently. Okay, so yeah, so I probably can't compare those exactly. That may... So is that an artifact or is that really there? Let's decrease the GTOL and the... not the RTOL, but the H and C. So that'll take a while to run now. In the meantime, let's go back over to here. I've never had two codes running two different languages on this channel before. That needs to have an achievement unlocked or something. One thing I'm going to need to fix, though, is... You see how it got all these equilibrium points? That's because as it was being dragged, it was finding the same equilibrium point just at different locations, saying, oh, this meets the tolerance, and this meets the tolerance, and this meets the tolerance. So one thing I'm going to have to do, you can see all the EP clones clustered in there. See? I mean, they're literally right on top of each other. So as I move up, you can see that thing change. So one thing I'll need to do is have it check whether there's already been an equilibrium point found there. So I think I will figure out how to do that off camera rather than go over that here. Let me make a note of that to myself here. So let's see, we've got... Need to add check to see if this EP was already found. So basically, the way I'll need to do it, let me think through it here in front of you, and then I'll implement it off camera, is I'll need to create a list of equilibrium point locations and then have it check for whether the new equilibrium point found is within a certain distance of that equilibrium point, of any of the equilibrium points that were previously found. Because otherwise, every time I go over the same spot, it'll just instantiate another equilibrium point. That would be a nice way to get free money in the game, I suppose. Oh, and this just finished. Oh, and lo and behold, those are not there anymore. Okay, so those, I think, were an artifact. Yeah, I suppose... Yeah, no, that's got to make sense. Yeah, okay, yeah, so those are just an artifact. Yeah, see, the problem I'm running through my head is I keep thinking of these as charges. As those charge problems we give in like physics 2, where you make one of these, a much larger charge, and you say, okay, where do you have to place the charge to find the equilibrium point? It's usually somewhere off here. So that's something I need to keep in mind. So some of those may not have actually been for real earlier. But anyway, but what makes this neat, what makes the game neat compared to the VPython finder is the VPython is manually searching these points, whereas the game, you're sweeping around these various locations trying to find an equilibrium point. What would be neat would be if you could figure out if, eventually the player develops kind of an innate sense of where the equilibrium points are. So what I'm going to do off camera is figure out how to avoid this equilibrium point overcloning problem. Or I suppose I could leave it in and just decrease the value of equilibrium points. But anyway, I will figure out how to fix that cloning problem, and then we will move on to the next stage of development, which will probably be addressing the drag issue. Do let me know. I mentioned in the last video asking you how you think I should handle the drag issue in the controls. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, and I'll try implementing that for the next time. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.